Now, if we're over 40, the core skills are really, really cool. They're exactly that. Being able to hold things like a one-arm handstand, being able to do things like handstand push-ups and press handstand is what I teach, and I'm nearly 50. But what we need to make sure is that we have the foundations first. Can we do the basics? So today I'm going to take you through what I think are the top 5 things you should be able to do when you're over 40. Number 1, we should be able to sit in a resting squat, so be able to sit comfortably in this position. Now, a really cool way of training this is to use the wall. What we're going to do is place our hands on the wall here, and we're going to slowly sit down into a squat position. Now, what the wall does is it stops us from compensating. A lot of the time when we go into a squat position, we'll tend to lean forwards and not take our hips too low, like this. So we tend to bend forwards, load the back, and get a faulty pattern in the hips. Now, if you find that's challenging to go up and down there, close to the wall, raise your heels up. So if I just grab this yoga mat, double it up, actually let's quadruple it up, like so. Now I can put my heels on here. See, I've raised them up slightly. This gives me a little bit more clearance. And look, now I can sit down into this squat position here, way more comfortably. It's keeping my torso upright, and it's allowing my back to be a bit more neutral. It's not rounding. Now, I don't have great mobility in this squat position, but I have enough to sit here for time if I need to, or use it in any movements that I want to. Number 2, the passive hang. So ideally, we're going to be able to grip a bar like this, shoulder width apart. That's the bar creaking, not me. And then I'm going to relax as much as I can. So this is called a dead hang. Notice my thumb's all the way around the bar, and I can hold here for time. Now, we can do other movements, like we can move up and down for our scapula. We can go into arching scap pulls. We can go into active passive positions. But to start with, we just need to learn how to hang in this position. Now, if this is too hard, you can just put some boxes or a block down on the floor and then take a little bit of weight off your toes. So now I've only got like 75% of my body weight. And I can build that time up to 30 seconds and then ideally 60 seconds in this passive hang. It's probably one of the best mobility exercises you can do for your upper back, your thoracic spine, where we all get stuck in this position, which then makes the shoulders have to compensate less. Most of us are stuck here. We try and take our hands above our head, and we can't do it, so we beat the shoulder up. But if we can open up the back more, then we can take our hands and our shoulders above our head much easier. So the hanging is number 1 for that. Number 3, the forward fold come Jefferson curl. Now, the reason I say come Jefferson curl is a forward fold is often just seen as this, leaning forwards with straight legs. Now, obviously, that's very important that we can do that. We need to do that when we do our shoelaces up. We definitely need to do that if we want to get things like a press handstand. But how we articulate the spine when we do that is very important. We don't just want to go with straight body. We want to have the ability to round our back as needed, depending on what we're doing. So a great exercise is to be soft in the knees, take the chin to the chest, round down through the upper back, through the mid back, through the low back, and then bend forwards, taking the knees backwards. Then we do the forward fold as deep as we can. So we're learning how to articulate and round the spine on the way up and the way down, but we're also learning how to get into that forward fold at the bottom. So the Jefferson curl is fantastic because it combines both of those things, the spinal articulation and the forward fold, where we're stretching the calves, the hamstrings, and when you're flexible enough, you're actually stretching the low back as well, because we're lengthening from here to here, and then from here to here. So you have 2 straight lines, and that's how we close this gap. So a lot of people will talk about compression. If you're lengthening enough through your calves, your hamstrings, and you make them apply to the forward fold, you don't need so much compression because you already can bring the torso to the. Number 4, the crow or frog position. Now, this might look like a yoga pose, and it is, but it's a great way to start playing with balance and learning how to control the weight in the legs to the weight in the hands. So if I'm here, I've got all the weight in my feet. If I'm here, I've got all the weight in my hands, and I can go between the two. So weight in the feet, weight in the hands. I can even take the head down towards the floor and back up again. So I'm learning to tip the body efficiently from one side to the other, transitioning weight from the feet to the hands. And it's the simplest way of starting to work on your balance. Ideally, you'd just be able to jump up to a handstand and hold in this position. But that's going to take weeks, months, if not years to achieve. But a crow or frog position can literally be done today. And I just have to go light toes to start with and then slowly learn to lift the feet up. And then number 5, it has to be the chest to wall handstand. Now it sounds like a gymnastic move, but if you can get to the point where you can solidly, comfortably hold all of your weight in your hands and shoulders while being inverted and learning how to get a connection from your hands all the way to your toes, it's like the best core exercise you can do. So hands down on the floor, I'm then going to walk up to the wall and be in this position. Notice the slight hollow. I'm not in this collapsed position. So learning to hold this, you might need to have your feet on a chair or only go into this position to start with because you can exit easily. But over time, when I get to the point where you can hold here and then eventually walk into the wall with good positioning throughout the hold, be able to hold a conversation in this position. And then that's going to give you the building blocks to add on any of those handstands or calisthenics movements. But we first need to be able to create that position and have that connection from the hands to the feet. Now, there are 5 movements that I highly recommend that you do at any age, but especially when you're over 40. And that's combined with your normal training. So your chin-ups, your push-ups, your rows, your dips, and your squats and deadlifts. The functional strength patterns that everyone should be able to do. The cool thing is, if you are into the handstands and calisthenics, it ticks most of those off anyway, because if you can do a muscle up, if you can do a handstand push-up, you can already do all those movements. So the prerequisites or the progressions towards those harder skills are those easier movements, those functional movements. Now, since I started training handstands and calisthenics at 37 years old, I've transformed not only my mobility, but my skill set as well. So I use those skills as motivation that keeps all these other things in check. If you've also got a passion for handstands and calisthenics, check out my coaching options. I have my app and my online courses. Links are all down below. And I'll speak to you guys in the next one.